Hi guys, my name is Ibrahim Olajide. I'm a civic education instructor. Today we'll be talking about human rights, the meaning of human rights, fundamental human rights, and the limitations of human rights. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to explain the meaning of human rights, identify fundamental human rights, identify what may lead to the limitation on human rights. Now, let's go to the meaning of human rights. What comes into your mind when you hear or see the word human rights? Human rights is just your rights or what you're entitled to as a person. That is what human rights is. So this is the meaning of human rights. Human rights are basic rights and freedom that belongs to every person in the world. So the right and freedom that belongs to every person in the world is called human rights. Every person in the world has human rights from birth until death. They apply regardless of where you are from, what you believe, or how you choose to live your life. Regardless of your religion, your ethnic group, your background, the country you are from, the state you are from, no, you are all entitled to human rights. And the idea of human rights is that one of us, no matter who or where we are born, is entitled to the same rights, the same basic rights and freedom. Human rights are not privileges. You don't earn your human rights based on privilege, no. Human rights is what you are entitled to as a human, as a citizen of the country. As a human, you have your human rights. And you cannot be granted, no one can grant you human rights or revoked. It cannot also be revoked. No one can revoke your human rights. It is your right, you are entitled to it. And either rich or poor, we are all entitled to the same human rights. The same, either you are rich, either you are poor, either you are an average citizen, we are all entitled to the same human rights. So that's that about human rights. Now we move to the fundamental human rights. Fundamental human rights are group of rights that have been recognized and identified in a constitution or what have been found under due process of law. Basically, fundamental human rights are essential and basic rights every person is entitled to. That is what fundamental human rights is. The basic rights every person is entitled to, from the president to the state governor, the basic rights we are all entitled to is the fundamental human rights. Below are fundamental human rights. One is the right to life. Everyone has the right to life, and no one should intentionally take life. You should not intentionally take your life, and you should not intentionally take other people's life. Number two, right to dignity of human person. Every individual has the right to respect for the dignity of his person, and nobody should be subjected to torture or slavery. Number three, right to personal liberty. Liberty means being free from oppressive restriction. So you have the right to personal liberty, you have the right to express yourself. No one should oppress you because you want to express yourself. Right to fair hearing. Any person who is accused of an offence is entitled to a fair hearing within a reasonable time by a court or tribunal. The next one is right to private family life. As a citizen or as a human, you have the right to private family life. You have the right to have your family, a private family life. Right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. As a human, you have the right to practice whatever religion you feel like, and you are also entitled to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. You are free to change your belief at any time. It is your right. The next one is right to freedom of expression and the press. You have the freedom to express yourself to the press anytime. That is one of the fundamental human rights. The next one is right to peaceful assembly and association. You have the right to organize an association, a peaceful assembly and association, like you calling a member of your family and forming an association, or within your community coming together to form an association. It is one of your fundamental human rights. Now the next one is right to freedom of movement. As a human or as a citizen of the country, you have the right to move from one state to another. You have the right to move freely without restriction. So that is another fundamental human right. The next one is right to freedom from discrimination. Citizens of Nigeria should not be subjected to discrimination because of their community, ethnic group, place of origin, gender, religion, or political religion. Should not be subjected to discrimination because we are all one. The next one is right to acquire and own immovable property anywhere in Nigeria. You have the right to own immovable property anywhere in Nigeria. So far you're in Nigeria, it is one of your human, basic fundamental human rights. Like you can be a Lagosian born and brought up in Lagos, you can go to Owerri to acquire property there. It is one of your fundamental human rights. Now let's move to limitations of human rights. There are certain circumstances which may lead to limitation of human rights. Some of the limitations of human rights include number one, quarantine. Let me use the global pandemic to give an example of quarantine. We have an infectious disease that is going on now, which is COVID-19. So people who are found to be carrying the COVID-19 are sometimes kept in quarantine for a certain period. So those who are quarantined now are not eligible to move around. This means that they are kept away from other people to prevent the spread of the disease and to treat the affected people. So the second one is mental illness. People who are mentally ill are restricted to psychiatric hospital, so they are not allowed to move freely. That is another limitation of human rights. War. Next one is war. People are normally unable to enjoy some of their rights in times of war. So people movement may be restricted for their own safety. When you move around, you can come across people that are trying to wage war against your community or country. So it is advisable you stay at home, so there will be a restriction of movement. So that's another limitation of human rights. Number four is state of emergency. In a state of emergency, to restore law and order, the constitution is suspended and leaders of the affected area is placed with an administrator. People movement may be restricted and they may not be allowed to express their ideas. So people's home may also be searched for security operatives. So that's another limitation of human rights. Conviction in court. When anyone is found convicted in court or guilty of a crime, they will not be able to exercise some of their human rights for as long as they are jailed them. So someone that is in jail will not be able to exercise his or her human rights. Curfew. In some cases, government could impose a curfew. Curfew is restriction of movement on the people to restore law and order during period of crisis. So then by that, so in that kind of situation, there is always restriction of movement for citizens. And so the next one is ban on public assembly. The government may ban public assembly for some time during crisis period. When there is crisis, they will ban public assembly. So that's another limitation of human rights. So far so good. We said human rights are basic rights and freedom that belongs to every person in the world. And some of our fundamental human rights are right to life, right to dignity of human person, right to personal liberty, right to fair hearing, right to private family life. And we discuss certain situations that could lead to the limitation of people's fundamental rights. Examples are war, quarantine, mental illness, curfew, conviction in court, state of emergency, and ban on public assembly. Thank you. Assignment: explain state of emergency. Number 2, identify and explain 5 fundamental human rights. Number 3, list and explain 3 situations that could lead to limitation of human rights. Thank you.